And now, here's a look at the Everyday Catholic Show. Confession through the centuries.
So in the early church, having to go to confession was a really big deal, and the penances could be really tough. And here's the thing, you could only go to confession once. If you needed to go after that, well, you're out of luck. So when Constantine converted in around 300 AD, well, a lot of people wanted to come in with him. But fearing the penances necessary for confession, a lot of people just put off baptism until right before they died, so they could die in a state of grace.
Yeah, no, they're looking hungry. Yeah, I think this is it. This is the end. Okay, yeah, let's do the baptism. Come on. Okay, bring on the baptism. Let's go.
In the name of the Father and the Son and
Could you maybe go a little faster?
It wasn't until the late 4th century that evidence of the beginnings of a private practice of confession began to appear. St. Ambrose, Pope Leo, St. Basil, and St. Ephrem all talk about how it would be wrong for a bishop or priest to publicly share the confessions of a person. I mean, apparently, they felt it would discourage people from going to confession. And yeah, I think that's true. The church historian Sozomen, also in the late 4th century, describes the bishops appointing priests as confessors to privately hear confessions. Those same appointed priests would then assign penances, things you did to show you were sorry for your sin, for those who confessed to work out by themselves. What was once a one-time, possibly public confession and very public penance in the mid-3rd century becomes a private act of confession and penance starting in the late 4th century. It wasn't until the 7th century that this form became the norm. Instead of making reconciliation in public and then doing an arduous, once-in-a-lifetime process to receive forgiveness, Irish monks began a practice of having the younger monks and the lay people they met with engage in a private, repeatable process of confessing one's sins, and then performing an act of penance that seemed appropriate to the level of sin that had been confessed. Sound familiar? Well, hey, now that we know all about what confession is and it isn't, maybe you should go. Sound good? Thanks for watching the Everyday Catholic Show on EWTN. To see more, go to everydaycatholic.com.